Welcome to this video on financial statement mechanics. In the first part, we are going to focus on the elements of financial statements. Let's start with assets. What are assets? Assets are basically economic resources of the company from which it will derive future economic benefit. Liabilities, on the other hand, are creditors' claim on these very economic resources of the company. And equity is what is left when you subtract liabilities from assets. Assets can be long-term or short-term, just like liabilities. Long-term assets can be land, patents, plants and machinery, and short-term assets can be cash, cash equivalents. This list is not exhaustive and there can be a number of subheadings under this. Liabilities similarly can be the loans that we have taken from bank, can be long-term, and the wages that we pay to our workers are normally short-term. Equity, on the other hand, has three basic components: contributed capital, retained earnings, and treasury shares. Contributed capital. For example, let's say I start a business today and I put $10,000 into it. So the money that I've put in becomes the contributed capital. In case the company goes to the market for that, for example, share market to raise money, then the money put in by the shareholders becomes the contributed capital. Retained earnings. Retained earnings are the earnings that we do not pay to our shareholders but the company keeps to itself. Treasury shares are shares of itself that the company buys from the open market or from other sources that it can find. Let's move on to the next part, that is accounting equation. The basic accounting equation stands as assets is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. This equation is always in balance. That is why the balance sheet is called so. Further, the owner's equity can be divided into contributed capital plus retained earnings, as we have mentioned just in the previous slide. Retained earnings can further be divided into beginning retained earnings plus the income that you earned over in that year minus the dividend that you paid out. So the final accounting equation becomes assets is equal to liabilities plus contributed capital plus beginning retained earnings and so on. Assets we have already defined, contributed capital. Beginning retained earnings are the earnings that were mentioned on the balance sheet at the start of the year. Net income is the income that comes out after the income statement has been prepared, minus any dividend. Dividend is what you pay out to your shareholders and which does not form part of your retained earnings. Let's move to the next part of this video, and that is the accounting process. We'll be taking an example, and what I want you to focus on while reading or seeing this example is that the accounting equation is always in balance. A is equal to L plus E, and I will illustrate to you how it stays in balance. What we are following over here is a double entry accounting system. So when one account is affected, so is the other one. So for example, if liabilities are affected, there has to be an offsetting either by assets or by equity so that the equation stays in balance. But it necessarily does not have to be assets or equity. Liabilities can be adjusted among itself. So if a liability is going up, another liability can go down, but the equation overall stays in balance. So in this case, let us take an example of a telephone company. I put in $10,000, my contributed capital increases by $10,000 and so does cash. My owner's equity is increased and so is an asset. So A is equal to L plus E is in balance. Then take this cash and buy furniture. So one asset is decreased and in the same proportion another asset, that is furniture, is increased. Hence again the equation is in balance. I buy cables, I buy telephone boxes. By the same money, cash decreases, another asset increases, that is the inventory. So the equation again stays in balance. Now I go ahead and I sell the inventory. Now the inventory will reduce, cash will increase, and so will the retained earnings. You see that whenever I'll sell my inventory, it will be above the cost price. For example, suppose each box that I bought was worth $10, whereas when I sell it for $20. So my cash increases by $20 on the sale of every single box. My inventory decreases by $10 and my retained earnings increase by $10. Again, making the equation stay in balance. If you feel a problem, just use a pen and paper to actually see how this happens. And the article that is given at the end of this video is something that you can help you picturize this whole scenario in a better manner. However, I am assuming that I am paying no taxes or no expenses were incurred apart from the cable and telephone boxes cost price, and thus retained earnings earn increased in direct proportion to the money that we earn. What we are following in this case is a accrual process of accounting and not a cash process of accounting. This means that we do not necessarily make a balance sheet adjustment or a netting adjustment when we see an inflow of cash. We can recognize revenue despite the fact that cash is received or not. Why this is so is something that would be evident in the article given below. So there are four basic scenarios that form part of accrual process. First one is unearned revenue, in which cash comes in first and a liability is created. For example, in case I am selling magazine service on monthly or quarterly basis, people subscribe to me at the start of the year itself, and then I give them the service over a period of time. In this case, I will create a liability and also increase my cash. As long as I keep paying my due, that is, providing the monthly subscription service, the liability keeps on decreasing and the revenues I keep recognizing revenues, thus increasing the retained earnings and keeping the equation in balance. In case of accrued revenue, cash comes later and an asset is created. For example, if I'm selling telephone boxes on credit, I would receive cash much later, but I would recognize revenue before the actual cash comes in. Let's move on to the next one, prepaid expense. In this case, cash is paid first and an asset is created on the balance sheet. Suppose a company is using rented premises and has paid 6 months of advance rent to the landlord. In this case, an asset would be created as the expense has been paid before. Notice that cash reduces, that is, an asset reduces, and the company creates another asset, that is, prepaid expense, in its place. As time passes by, at the end of 6 months, this entire asset is passed along and expense is recognized in the income statement, thus reducing the retained earnings. Last but not the least, accrued expense. In this case, cash comes later and a liability is created. An example of this would be wages paid to your workforce. In this case, you create a liability, you expense it, and as soon as you pay out the cash, this liability is set off against the cash on the balance sheet. Last part is the financial statements that we use in security analysis. The important point for candidates to note is that considerable judgment is involved at various stages when financial statements are provided. A same company being audited by two different people may not give the exact same results, and this concludes this session. Brought to you by Rapid Finance. Thank you for watching.